أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. This talk is on the topic of making will or bequest or wasiyat. There's a common misconception in the Muslim community that these verses or parts of these verses have been cancelled. But there is nothing in the Quran which has been cancelled. I will be gathering references from the Quran Hakim on this topic with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing has been cancelled or nullified in Quran. All the ordinances of the Kitabullah, they are unaltered, and none can change the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us seek guidance from the verse number 27 of the Surah Al-Kahf. Watlu ma uhiya ilayka, and recite which has been revealed unto you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Min kitabi rabbika, of the book of your Lord, of your sustainer. La mubaddila li kalimatihi, there is none who can change his words or his ordinances or his sayings. Walan tajida min dunihi multahada, and you will find no refuge besides him. Let us seek guidance from the verse number 180 of the Surah Al-Baqarah on the topic of bequest or wasiyat. Kutiba alaykum, this has been prescribed for you. This is a commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like kutiba alaykumus siyam or kutiba alaykumul kisas. This commandment which is being revealed in this verse is the mandatory provision and an order given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Iza hazara ahadakumul mautu, when death approaches any one of you. In taraka khairan, if he leaves wealth. Al wasiyatu, bequest or will, meaning making a bequest or will is a mandatory law given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lil walidaini wal akrabina, for the parents and near relatives, meaning the will or bequest or wasiyat can only be made in the favor of parents and near relatives. This is not for the purpose of charity. Haqqan alal muttaqin, being an obligation on the God conscious. This is a mandatory law and ordinance given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Common misconception is that these verses of wasiyat or will have been nullified with the revelation of the verses of inheritance, but this is not the case. Let us seek guidance from the verses of the inheritance from the Surah An-Nisa. Reference from the verse number 11 of the Surah An-Nisa. This verse primarily describes the share in inheritance of the children and the parents of the deceased, and towards the end of this verse it has been revealed. Min ba'di wasiyatin yusi biha aw dain, after fulfilling the will and debt have been paid, meaning the laws of inheritance are applicable only after the will has been fulfilled and any debt on the deceased has been paid. Verse number 12 of the Surah An-Nisa predominantly deals with the share in inheritance of the husband or the wife of the deceased. These are the references from the verse number 12 of the Surah An-Nisa. من بعد وصية يوصين بها أو دين. After bequest they made and debt paid. This has been prescribed for deceased wives. من بعد وصية توصون بها أو دين. After bequest you made and debt paid. It is quite evident and clear from these two verses that the laws of inheritance are applicable to only that part of the property or wealth which is left after fulfilling the bequest and any debt paid on the deceased. Indeed, La Mubaddila li kalimatihi, there is none who can change the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His commandments, His ordinances, and His laws. Let us seek further guidance on wasiyat or will or bequest from the verse number 181 of the Surah Al-Baqarah. فَمَنْ بَدَّلَهُ, then whoever changes it, meaning whoever changes the wasiyat, will or bequest. بَعْدَ مَا سَمِعَهُ, after he has heard it. فَإِنَّمَا إِسْمُهُ, the sin thereof is only upon عَلَى الَّذِينَ يُبَدِّلُونَهُ, those who change it, meaning who deliberately change the will or wasiyat after listening to it. Inna Allah Samiyun Alim, indeed Allah is hearing and knowing. The complete process of witnessing the wasiyat, will or bequest is given in the verse number 106 to 108 of Surah Al-Ma'idah. Verse number 182 of the Surah Al-Baqarah. Faman khafa mim musin, but if one fears from the bequester or the person who has made the will or musi, janafan, meaning error, injustice, unfair dealing, or partiality in this particular context. Aw isman, or sin. فَأَصْلَحَ بَيْنَهُمْ, and corrects that which is between them. Meaning the will or wasiyat or bequest is not something which is final, or it is not something which cannot be changed. It can be changed if there is an element of partiality or sin or unfair dealing in the will. Fala isma alay, then there is no sin upon him. Inna Allah ghafurur rahim, indeed Allah is the most forgiving and the most merciful. Jazakumullah khair.